Greetings and welcome to In-Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. Very happy to be having a conversation with someone representing a credit union, not just any credit union, a venture credit union. And specifically, we're talking about Youth Technology Camp, AI Explorers. We're doing so with the Education Committee Officer, Hakeem Jordan. Mr. Jordan, how you do, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. A bubble on your name, pressure. But at the same time, even before we get into the camp, though, give us a little idea about what Venture Credit Union is for, what it stands for. Thank you. What
All
is
right,
all
so
about?
Venture Credit Union, we are one of the leaders in the credit union industry, um, offering financial stability, and not just financial stability, but also educating our members in the space of financial well-being and being an all-round cooperative, more or less.
And how important is that level of education? Because I think sometimes there's some financial institutions that expect people to have a level of knowledge. So you just come in, or you do it remotely, and you go your way, as opposed to literally building hands, uh, making sure that you build capacity and knowledge so that people are better able to have their money work for them.
All right, so the ethos of the credit union movement is basically people helping people. So we try at Venture Credit Union to stay as close to that, holding the hands of our members, our prospective members, and guiding them along the way. So really and truly, some persons, their financial well-being at the point may not afford them the opportunity to have the products and services or the luxury that they want. But our goal is more or less to hold their hand, guide them, and carry them to where they need to be in order to have a better financial footing.
I like the fact that they talk about prospective members. In terms of area and catchment target grouping, who's the, I don't want to say ideal, but where do you find your membership kind of originating from?
All right, so more or less, venture would have started on the estate. So our base demographic would have been persons from the industry, but over the years we have grown our membership significantly, and now our main the campaign that we are on now is to try to make the credit union movement a little more youthful and bringing on persons within the ages of 18 to 30 to get not just bringing them on, but to get them more involved in the credit union movement. But more or less, you know how it goes with credit unions. So our base is more persons would have, so let me say, 30 upwards. But we are trying now to get that demographic in of persons 18 to 30. So as I said, we want to be there for you every step of your financial journey or your journey on the whole, from education straight up to purchasing your car, your home, that type of thing. So now we are on a journey of trying to bring and bridge the gap, bringing in that demographic and making it a little more interesting, a little more youthful for persons of that demographic.
I like the fact you're talking about making it a little more interesting, making it a little more youthful. It allows us to dive or to segue into Youth Technology Camp. What is one thing to say, hey, this might be a good idea, but it's another thing to actually run with it. So what are some of the things that led up to the camp?
Leading up to the camp, a lot of work, trying to get as much sponsors on board, getting corporate Trinidad and Tobago to be a little more involved. And you know, the normal planning with events and how it goes, but all in all, uh, we pull it off well, man.
Again, the theme was AI Explorers.
AI Explorers. This year, our team was AI Explorers. And why AI Explorers is because we realized that in the space, there's a lot of, so now AI is the new way forward. AI is a new way forward, and we realize that there's not much information and accessibility to high quality information for persons of that demographic, being 12 to 17, understanding that this is a new normal, and they would be the persons basically taking this new normal and moving it in to using it for good, more or less.
Now you say new normal, and I twitch for a second there.
The new,
You carry me back.
yeah,
You carry me back. But
the new normal.
but looking at the age range in terms of, I think 12 to 17, you said, how did you get participants? Is it a matter of saying children, family, relatives of members? You just put out a call in the area. What was that process like?
So our ideal first target audience would have been our youth members ages 12 to 17, and then we would have opened it up to members who are adults who have children or nieces or nephews within that demographic as well. And of course, we had to cap it. Ideally, we were looking at having about 50 persons, but then we had to, because it was oversubscribed, we had about 58, 60 persons in total by the end of the graduation. So yeah, it was. I mean, which speaks volumes. It speaks that we are doing something good. The interest is there, and there's a need for it, more or less.
No, yes, inside that answer you send me off. And I say that because you're talking about youth members, I didn't know that was a thing. So before we get back into the camp, tell me a little bit about youth members, please.
Youth members, yeah. So okay, so anybody once you're a living person, you can become a member of the credit union. So if you have a birth certificate, your parent can join you in the credit union. And as I was mentioning earlier on, that is where our goal and function is, taking you from birth, I don't want to say, but birth to death or final rights, because of course within the credit union sector, we also have the CUNA family indemnity plan as well, which covers that. So from birth to death, holding your hand side by side, step by step, taking you along the journey. More
How
or less,
important?
more
Mhm.
or less your journey, our commitment.
Wow, you only hit me some wicked taglines there, boy. But I I think, and help me and bear me out on this, that there will be a difference for somebody who starts off as a youth member and start to develop those habits in terms of saying, okay, well, as opposed to spending all the money on sweetie that I get, I'm going to put a little bit, I'm going to ask to put a little bit, and getting into the habit of this kind of one cocoa fill in the basket, so that when you're older, the Bibles talk about so that you will not depart from those ways. What kind of traction do you get from younger members transitioning into being full-fledged adults and adult members?
And I just want to take it a little step further, not just a young member acknowledging the fact that you're a member of a credit union, but a young active member. And that is where we want to take this demographic, not just to be a member or hold a card number or a number within the credit union movement, but to be active and understanding their role and function in keeping this model sustainable, this model of people helping people. So the journey that we have gone on now is getting into the schools and teaching them from that level, understanding the fact that you save, you save and you work towards, you want to go into AI, you want to go into being a doctor, a lawyer, you want to go into being a creative, an artist, that type of thing. There is some fundamentals that you need to, schooling is expensive. And as little as you could teach them and as basic as you could teach them, you need to save and work towards something. You want to buy a phone, you want to buy a Christmas gift, that kind of thing. You're making it attractive, of course, but putting that into them that saving is important, and this model is what would help you save and to work towards that goal. Because of course, whereas with other financial sectors, you pay to save your money there. We pay you to save your money here in the form of dividends. So you get your returns as well. So you save and of course your money grow and then you see your returns, more or less.
And I really like that line and the nuance of being an active member as opposed to just being a member, and also teaching life lessons, because I think sometimes people talk about this age of instant gratification. As soon as you flick that switch, the light comes on, as opposed to literally sowing seeds and growing what it is you want, inclusive of growing habits, growing good habits. But we continue the conversation. Yes, we're talking about youth technology camp, the AI explorers, but we're talking about so much more learning, so much more about venture credit union. We're doing so with the education committee officer, Hakeem Jordan. Stay with us. We'll return after this. Welcome back. We are speaking with the Education Committee Officer of Venture Credit Union, Hakeem Jordan. We are speaking about the Youth Technology Camp that was just concluded, oversubscribed. They had to cap it off 58 to 60 people. And the theme for the year was AI Explorers. AI Explorers, how do you begin to teach that? Is it that you have old dogs with new tricks, or you bring in facilitators? What does that look like?
All right, so our facilitators this year, they will so it's an international company called Cyber Square, and they are specialized in that demographic and even younger, six, I believe it's six, they do online courses, six to, so I believe our age group would have been the first of for them in physically. So they usually do their courses online. And I believe it starts at 6, yeah, young 6. They teach robotics, sensors, coding, the ethics, that kind of thing. So and we would have built our offering around that. So they would have helped us curated this camp. And yeah.
What was the experience like in terms of feedback? Because it's one thing to say, yes, I want to do AI because I see this jumping up and all kind of things, but actually being in the camp and being involved and coming through that experience, what was some of the feedback?
Curiosity, willing and eagerness to learn. But at first, the first day, everybody was shy, talking, that kind of thing. But by the time the second day, we had to tell them, all right, well, they need to stop asking so much questions, quote unquote, and listen and try to understand what is being taught. But yeah, curiosity, encouragement, collaboration, the works.
I can imagine people listening now and feeling a little jealous, especially learning, well, finding out that the team is Circle Square, you said? Actually, no, Circle Square is the
Cybersquare,
Circle. I don't want to say
cybersquare.
Circle Square is the TV show. I showing my age there. But in terms of them coming and being here physically, but it's one thing to say, okay, well, yes, they came, Cyber Square came, and the workshop happened. How does this translate? What do you want to see coming out of this? How do we make it sustainable? How is it something that you can scale up or expand?
Right, so our goal for 2026 is to have a bigger cohort and look at extending it from 1 week to 2 weeks, because I mean it's a bit much to cover in 4 days basically, because they would have had the orientation on the first day, and then after the orientation they would have kind of get into the camp basics, and then you had the graduation on the Friday, which they didn't have any date. So more or less 4 days. So we're looking at extending it to 2 weeks, and of course bringing in mentors and persons within the field of AI, coding, robotic sensors, that kind of thing, to kind of give them a more feel, and basically as what our ethos is, people helping people, holding their hand and carrying them along the lines, because it's only so much that you could really capture and learn in just 4 days. So of course, so we want to look at getting mentors on board, as well as very soon we will be launching, and as I was saying it boldly and boastfully, the first to market, one of the first to market, our e-library resource, our online resources. So of course we would be building a category there around the aspect of technology. I mean, this year we would have covered AI, but of course, as time go by, technology evolving. So next year it might be something different or something enhanced. So we're looking at building out our resources there on our e-library accessible even after the 2 weeks, so that our youth members within that demographic, and not just our youth members, because it would have had parents who this topic would have sparked their interest now. And as the education committee, we're now looking at taking up the mantle of offering not only just to this demographic, but also in the future to our members who don't fall in this demographic as well. So, of course, yes, we are looking at expanding and, of course, bringing in more sponsors, more partners to make this a reality. Because, I mean, yes, we are investing, but also we are looking for like-minded corporate citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, corporate entities who believe in this is the way forward, and we want to ensure that we taking this mantle up and running to come on board, partnering with us so that we can make it bigger, better, and make it great for not just the credit union movement, but for the persons of Trinidad and Tobago.
We have about 3 minutes, Mr. Jordan, but you're teeth in my head. I have about 3 questions in those 3 minutes. Well, 2 questions and a statement. The statement, in terms of getting those mentors, are we getting mentors who have roots or connections here in Trinidad and Tobago? And I asked the question because I can't remember if it's Doctor, Professor, but Renee Cummings, she talks about the fact that AI is not necessarily the objective. The people who create some of those programs and the algorithms, they leave bits of themselves, whether or not they plan to or not. So sometimes we could see things and get answers that don't necessarily look like us if we're not part of the process in terms of creating. Hence the reason for asking about where the mentor is coming from. But 2, I also want to know, will those online resources be open or accessible only to members of Venture Credit Union? And 3, how can partners say, this is a good thing, we want to be part of it, we want to come on board?
Right, so I'll take question number 1 first. And luckily, I would have just mentioned to you that our facilitators, Cyber Square, they have a whole business model, a whole body. So of course, yes, we would have we're looking at bringing in some international mentors. And of course, now we have our new Ministry of Public Administration and AI. So we're looking at tapping into that field as well to partnering with them to come on board, because I mean, it's something new, we're building it, as well as that's a new ministry, it's being built out. So of course we're looking at getting some mentors there, and there's also persons within the space here, right, locally, Trinidad and Tobago, who are who are the groundbreakers, the footsteppers, the movers within that movement as well too. So we're looking at tapping into that vein as well. The second question you asked was pertaining to, I believe, the online resources. So in the first phase, this would be only open to our members. It will be open to our members of the credit union. So of course, quick plug, visit our website, www.venturecreditunion.com, and find out how you can become a member today. And then in the second phase, we're looking at rolling it out where the information will be accessible to all. And this third question, just remind me of that. I don't think I
Third
got
question,
the
how do people become partners? They're saying, okay, we like this, so we want to invest our time because you all are already working to roll out.
Most importantly, you can reach out to us. You can visit our website. There's our landing page there for our marketing and communications department, where you have a query, you can send it there, or I can give you my email address. It's hjordan@venturecu.com, or you can get me on my extension 625, or you can call the direct marketing extension, which is 682, sorry.
Education Committee Officer Hakeem Jordan, we want to thank you very much. Big things coming out of Venture Credit Union, and I like the plug. So in the initial stages, it'll be only open to members, so drunk or sober, mind your business. But looking at the events coming out of the Youth Technology Camp, AI Explorers, we want to thank you very much, Mr. Jordan, and on behalf of the entire TTT team. This has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you so much for joining us.